Today, however, the idea of patriotism, at least among philosophers, seems to have fallen upon hard times. This isn't to say that patriotism as a phenomenon of political life is likely to disappear. To the contrary, go drive 20 miles or so outside of any urban area, and one is likely to see flags being waved, bumper stickers on cars proclaiming the driver's love of country, country music stations playing music that tells us to support our troops and keep driving our SUVs, all signs of American patriotism, to be sure. But the issue seems quite different in universities and in educated circles, you might say, where patriotism has come to appear to be a morally questionable phenomenon. Tell someone at any Ivy League university that you are interested in patriotism, and you will be treated as if you have just expressed a kind of interest in child pornography. Raise the issue, and one is likely to hear very quickly repeated Samuel Johnson's famous barb that patriotism is the last refuge of a scoundrel. Or you might even hear, if the person's read a little bit more, E.M. Forster's famous statement that if he had to choose whether to betray his friend or his country, that he, Forster, wished he had the courage to betray his country. Forster, you know, the famous English novelist, authors of Howard's End and other important books, Forster presents the choice between friendship over country, of private over public goods, as a kind of tragic and even noble decision that one has to make. But Forster, in some respect, has given us, I would suggest, a false dilemma. Loyalty is a moral habit, just as betrayal is a moral vice. People who practice one are less likely to indulge in the other. Consider the following example. A few years after Forster made his statement at Cambridge, I believe, 3 young Cambridge undergraduates in the 1930s by the names of Kim Philby, Donald McLean, and Guy Burgess. I don't know if those are names that are familiar to people here any longer, but they were very, very famous names at one point. They chose to betray their own country. That is to say, they acted for many years as Soviet agents, and for years passed on vital secrets, English secrets, to Moscow as they all ascended up the ladder of British intelligence services until they were finally exposed in the 1950s. And it was not long after they were exposed and they had all fled to Moscow that they began to betray one another. Loyalty, it seems, like betrayal, is not a bus that one can simply get off at will. Rather, people who betray others in one area of life are likely to do so as well in others.